Hello and welcome to today's live coaching call and community conversation. Today we are going to be talking about the words that we use to describe maybe ourselves or a current situation that we are in and how changing the words that you use can really change the outcome. So welcome if you're new. My name is Diane Parham. I am the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, as well as the Midlife Mindset Shift course. And here in this community, we talk about all things that pertain to us as one of today's aging women. Primarily, we talk about intermittent fasting. If you haven't done so, and maybe you're joining us new on YouTube, I always ask that you please take a second to hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification. That way you will know when I go live or post a reminder about going live. And then if you're joining us on Facebook, always feel free to hit that follow button and then set yourself up to receive all notifications as well. And again, you will be notified when we schedule an opportunity for us to get together. So like I said, today we are going to be talking about the fact that we as people are not fat, right? But we have things on our body that we might not be happy with. And for women, it is just accumulation of body fat. And as we get older and as our hormones change, or as we go through seasons in life where our hormones are changing, our body's utilization or accumulation of fat does change. And what I want us to really talk about today is how we get to choose the thoughts that we have about our body and how we want to manage it, and how those choices or those thoughts that we have really do lead to feelings about ourselves. And when we're feeling optimistic and we're feeling empowered and we're feeling like we have a handle on things, we often take that energy with us to the decision-making process. And if we feel beat down, or we feel like we're not winning at anything, or we feel negative about ourselves because of the thoughts we have in our head, we also take that with us, right? And one of the things I can tell you now as a coach for women in this community for the past 5 years is that any woman who falls off her intermittent fasting journey, who falls off her weight loss journey, or who falls off her self-improvement journey, it never has to do with the thing that she approached in the first place. And it often has to do with her thoughts about something that's either going on in her life, stress, the last 2 years and things we had to go through, something going on with a relationship, a job. It's always the negative thought that leads to a negative feeling that ends up putting us in a position where we're going to make choices that we are not happy with in the end. So if this is you, if you kind of associate yourself with stress and doing negative things, just put a yes in the comment section. You're not alone. I'm the same way. Stress eating, not working out because you're feeling stressed out, not getting enough sleep because you're feeling stressed out, or just not doing the things that you know are going to lead you to where you want to go because something in life is not going your way, is a very common thing. But what I want to get us to understand today is we get to choose how we respond to that, and we get to choose if we accept that about ourselves or we want to change it. And like I said, all the women who I know from this community or who have reached out to me who say that they feel like they've slid backwards, or what once was working for them is not working for them, it's only because they have made different choices. It's not because the thing stopped working that was working before. It's because the choices that they're making in their mindset are leading to a different result than they feel successful about before. So this is what I want us to really catch ourselves with when we're talking about our body. I don't want us to talk about or label ourselves or identify ourselves as the negative thing. And this is the thing about fat and women that is very common. I feel so fat, or I'm so fat, right? And not even that fat is a negative thing. Fat for women should never be even in the category of negativity, because as human beings, women just have more body fat. We need it to be women, right? If we didn't have that body fat and we didn't have that hormonal makeup, we wouldn't be who we are. So embracing who we are as women, embracing our hormones, embracing how our body is made up, and the fact that we just need more body fat to be the amazing human beings we are and be able to do all the things that we need to do in life, procreating, being able to feed babies, like that's all the things that our body needs to be successful as female human beings, right? And so we have to just accept that and then understand how we can manage what we have going on in our body without making it a negative thing, and really make it our power game, right? It's where we drive our power from. And this is where I really like to use words like utilize and being fat adapted and draining the tanks, right? We have these action items that we can partake in once we just take the time to understand how our body chemistry works, right? And have a little love and self-acceptance. So if you are feeling like, and I know there's a lot of pressure for women when it starts to warm up, right? And we start wanting to wear sundresses and shorts and skirts, but we feel self-conscious because of the labeling we have going on in our head. This is where we have to stop it so we have an opportunity to show up authentic and feeling like we are our best selves, right? So we want to understand how our body chemistry works. And as women who are going through these hormonal changes, we talk about this all the time here. Insulin is the thing that's really driving how much our body is storing body fat versus utilizing body fat. And this is why intermittent fasting, especially that 20-hour window, has been such a magical way for us to live our lives, because it does give us the opportunity to drain the tanks and create a fat utilization opportunity for ourselves, so we're not storing more than we're comfortable with. It's all just body chemistry and just understanding how our body works. Then we have to do that second step, which is shifting our mindset into that positivity mindset, right? And knowing that every thought that you have in your brain is going to trigger how you feel about your current situation. And if how you're feeling is not positive and it's not energetic and it's not making you feel like you have control of the situation, you have to go back and reframe the thoughts in your head. I've got this. I know how to tap into what I'm not happy with on my body and use that as the best, most energized sense of energy that my body can have. I know how to make informed decisions, and I really want to wake up every day looking and feeling my best. What do I have to do to make that happen? This is why inside the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, I have you guys journal every single day that you're in class, because I want you to have on paper, in black and white, written proof of the steps that you need to take to get you to that point where you're looking and feeling your best, because it takes about a week, right? It takes about a week of you getting back to tapping into your body's energy sources and utilizing that so that you can shed off what it is that you have that you no longer want to keep around, right? Fat accumulation is just one of those things that if you don't want to have it, all you have to do is tap into it. Let your body have the opportunity to use it, and you can get rid of it. Just like taking out the trash or donating stuff at the Goodwill. You don't have to hold on to something that you're not happy with, but you do have to start with a thought process that's going to give you that confidence and that sense of empowerment of knowing how to take care of your body so you can tap into it and get it to be used as energy so it will go away. We do that here with intermittent fasting, 20 hours, clean fasting until you have seen and felt the difference. Then what I always recommend for women is to then ebb and flow with your life, right? You don't have to miss memory making moments. I just had an amazing memory making weekend with my family. We had graduation, we had friends in town. Like, we had a great time. I'm right back at it today. 20 hours fasting. Did my zone 2 training this morning to tap into fat burning as fast as I possibly can, right? Fat utilization through my workout. And within a couple of days, I'll be right back where I need to go, because I know how to tap into that. And that's really what I want you guys to learn how to do here. Learn how to do through being a member of the intermittent fasting class. Go back to, if you're a graduate and you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling like you're not getting the same feeling or same results while you did in class, go back to your journal, go back to your guides, go back to day 1 and just start today saying, I'm going to make my body that fat utilization machine so that I can get rid of what it is I don't want to have on it. It's all you have to tell yourself every single day. And don't take possession of something that you're not happy with. You do not have to take possession of it. It's a temporary situation. You know how to fix it. Okay, so let's see who we have here today. This is your time to ask questions, leave comments, get support from me. I want you to feel seen and heard here in this community. This is why I come on here live, because I want you to get the confidence. I want you to walk away today going, I am not whatever it is you're feeling. I just have that situation. It's temporary, and we are going to fix it starting today, because I've already identified that I'm not happy. And you just rinse and repeat the steps that you need to get yourself to that happy place. Patrice, I needed this class today. Thank you. September 12th, 2020 grad. Yeah. Patrice, go back to your notes from class. Look, here's the deal. Life happens. Life happens to all of us. We're not perfect. I am not perfect. I have my ebbs and flows as well. I have my times where I put on, 5 or 6 pounds. I have my times where I lose 5 or 6 pounds. I just don't live in the stress of it and the turmoil of it. I know my body is just that kind of body, right? So I just go back to the drawing board, go back to what I know works. And Patrice, just log back into your class, do your lessons, go over your notes. And I promise you, within a couple of days, your body will respond because it liked what you were doing before. Carmen, hello, everyone. Carmen from Southwest Florida, October 2018 grad. Carmen and I are going to have a one-on-one call tomorrow. I can't wait to see you and talk to you. I'm super excited about that. I always love when you're on with us. Deborah, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hello from New Jersey. Who else we got here? Yeah, see, lots of yeses. So here's what I love about this community, right? Absolutely stressy. Okay, awesome. Everyone does it. This is what I want you to know. You're not flawed, right? There's nothing wrong with you if you know that when things are stressful, you use food to numb out, right? To just change the mindset you have. You check out. You don't want to deal with it. Here's what I want to leave you with today so you can have a different mindset. You can just fill in something else by just making the decision. If you don't want to stress eat, right, because the end result of that is not serving you, all you have to do is plug in a different activity over eating when you're stressed. When I am stressed, I grab a bottle of water. When I am stressed, I call a friend. When I am stressed, I go for a walk. When I am stressed, I journal about it. Like, you just have to put a different activity at the end of when I am stressed. And then you just every single day say that to yourself out loud, and you just label yourself a different person under stressful conditions. That's all you have to do. Then act out what it is you wrote down and what it is you want to believe until you become that person. As a society, we accept stress eating as the be all end all way that we manage life. We've seen that through the last couple of years, right? Where people were in their homes, where they were feeling stressed out, and they've gained 25, 30, 40. Some people gained 50, 60, 70 pounds because they were stressed out and they did what they always do when they're stressed. If you don't like the end result of that, all you have to do is put in some other way to manage your stress. I promise you, it will be life-changing for you. And then you just have to believe it until you start to achieve it. And it will be life-changing for you. And you will always be able to rely on that. Wanda, so true. I was bemoaning my belly fat after losing close to 20 pounds with IF. Then just saw a picture of myself in my naysayer group who can't lose weight no matter what. And I see myself as awesome. Yeah, for sure. If you're in a group of people who are naysayers, you got to get a new group, girlfriend, because they will drag you down so fast. And yeah, you have to just, we don't always have to be like, a super positive and, super, sometimes we have to be realistic. Let's just say it that way. But the words you choose do matter, right? So you can say, I have a little more body fat on my body right now that I am comfortable with. What do I need to do to fix that so that I'm comfortable? Like, that's how we want to talk to ourselves. The same way we would talk to a friend or your daughter or your mother or your aunt or your cousin or whoever, right? You would never go, oh my gosh, you're fat. We would never say that to anybody else, but we say that to ourselves. And it's such a derogatory way to speak to ourselves because we have deemed fat as a negative thing, right? But what if we don't think of fat as a negative thing? Because we have the opportunity to change that thought too. Like, the fat I have on my body makes me the amazing woman that I am. I also get to control how much of that I want to have stored away and how much of that I want to be able to pull out to utilize for energy. Those are the kind of conversations we need to have in our head. And then you just make the informed decisions to back them up. Like, I want to wake up feeling great. I want to go to bed feeling great. I want to have a great night's sleep. I want to be happy and healthy for my family. Like, if we change our dialogue to those kind of things, the way you speak to yourself will then translate into the actions that you take, and the result will be exactly what you want. Body, should you push yourself to exercise when you are striving to get to the 20-hour fast and are feeling weak or just concentrate on the 20-hour fast goal. So here's my advice on that kind of question. I always say, make sure you're comfortable and confident with the fasting first before you add in the exercise. When I was learning how to intermittent fast and reverse my pre-diabetic state, I fasted for 20 hours clean and I did not exercise for almost a year. And it was the best gift I gave myself because I really concentrated on letting my body heal from the inside out, and I got amazing results, right? Then when I mixed in the workouts, I had to adjust my fasting and my feasting to accommodate that third pillar of asking my body, right? Because remember, when you're fasting, that's an ask of your body, and how you feel and the changes that you see from your fasting is your body answering you. When you're feasting, right, you're asking your body to accommodate the food that you're putting in, and how you look and feel is your body's answer to those feasting choices you made. Same thing goes true with training. So when you're training and you're doing these two things, you have to accommodate and be able in your own brain to make the changes with your fasting and your feasting to add back in the fitness part of it. So when you say, push yourself to exercise, that right there is kind of like a signal to me that you might not be ready for the training yet with your fasting and your feasting. So because you're going to have to support your training the night before and your feast with food choices, and then you might have to adjust your fasting a little bit. So if you're good with that, then I say just throw in your training and see how it is. I personally, and I'm very open with this too, I add a pre-workout before I work out. And I just know with the way I'm fasting and feasting that it doesn't interrupt what I'm hoping for as the end result with the lifestyle that I've created. So again, that's something you can add in too. You just have to be okay. If it doesn't work out for you, you have to go back to the drawing board. So, and if you want to book a consult call with me, Bonnie, I can explain all that and we can get you set up with some experimenting where you won't feel like you're messing things up if it doesn't work out, right? But remember, you're asking for a lot from your body. The other thing I recommend, especially for women who are really trying to tap into fat utilization, right, and draining of the tanks, meaning you're draining your glucose tanks to get to that point of fat utilization, is zone 2 training. So bringing the intensity down, which does feel better in a fasted state, and just increasing that intensity a little bit longer. So you want to stay around that zone 2 training, not getting your heart rate above 74. Around the 70 mark would be great. Percent of your max, 70%. Lou, you make my frantic weight loss feeling go away. I've been counting calories and no luck. I'm going for a 20-hour and next class. Yeah, for sure. And our next class starts on June the 4th. So get on my email list and we'll make sure that you get invited, or you can go to my website at fortoday'sagingwoman.com. You can join the email list there, or you can register for class. Registration's always open for the next class. Jump on in. Yeah, frantic weight loss feelings are very stressful, and it creates all kinds of hormonal changes in your body. And it's just not a very trusting environment for your body to make change in. So settle into the fasting first. Get really comfortable and confident with that. Pay attention to your feasting windows so that you know that the choices you're making in your feast are going to serve your next fast, right? And then figure out the training. So that's the order in which I say to go. Fasting first, feasting second, and then that training part will be the third part. Okay, if you guys haven't done so yet, and this is resonating with you, please make sure you hit that like button for me on YouTube and on Facebook. That just makes sure that this video gets to other people in our community that really need to hear this and work on their mindset and get things going for them with how it is they want to age successfully as well. I always appreciate when you guys make that extra effort for me. Okay, so let's see who we got here. Deborah, I really needed today's meeting. I was doing one meal a day before COVID shut down. Then my husband passed on 121. So sorry, Deborah, to hear that your husband passed away. I can't even imagine. Now what you've got to do is really focus on taking care of you, right? You got to focus on taking care of you, making sure you have that positive mindset, making sure that you're going to have the opportunity to age well. Well, I think for a lot of us, we're past a lot of the negativity of the COVID aspect of things, and we really do have to figure out how we want to live our own life moving forward. And we're in a community that embraces everyone. So please feel free to use us to get you through some tough days, or to come get some girlfriends to hang out with. We love having you here, and we're here for you. So don't be afraid to use us whenever you need us, okay? And Deborah, I'm regrouping 2 days of 16-8 to ease back in. I have next week 18. Yeah, there you go. Perfect way to do that. Just ease in if that's what you feel is going to be best for you. Julie, I will start the 24 tomorrow. Haven't seen anything with the 16-8. Yeah, that 20 to 20 hour fast, you guys, it is magic, especially if you want to feel and see quick changes. And just know the 20-hour fast, most of that is spent, during your sleeping time. You just start when you're done with dinner, you push your meal up into into that 20-hour mark in your next day, and then learn how to feast well. Your body will tell you if the food choices you're making aren't working for you, and pay attention to those for sure. Bonnie, you are super welcome, girlfriend. Carmen, hi everyone from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Well, welcome, my friend. Dina, I definitely am struggling with getting into the mindset of not eating until 1 for a 20-hour window. It's frustrating because I've done this before and haven't had the struggle with my mindset. What do you recommend to get me back in the flow? I always recommend just doing it. Like, what does struggle mean for you? Are you struggling physically? Are you struggling mentally? Are you bored? Are you using your tools to kind of help trick your body into not feeling hungry? Are you feeling like, is there something else going in your life that's creating that mindset struggle? Like, you have to go through the whole inventory of things that you classify where you struggle in, and then find a solution for that. I always say, just get it in, right? Get those first couple of days of 20 hours of fasting in, and before you know it, your body's just going to pay you back in kind by making it not feel like it's a struggle. Lots of water, have your black coffee, and maybe it's the 1 o'clock time. Maybe there's something about 1 o'clock that's not working for you. Evaluate that as well, and then see what you come up with. Probably from boredom. Okay, I'll answer that in just a second. Holly, Deborah, I empathize with you. I lost my husband 2 months ago. Holly, I'm so sorry to hear you lost your husband. Again, we are here for you guys. So make sure you come check in with us. Make sure you're seen in the comment section. We will give you our virtual hugs on YouTube, and make you feel, or hopefully help you feel like you're part of a community. So we're here for you, and just know that anytime you need anything, always feel free to reach out. Okay, so Deanna, you're bored. Okay, so boredom is the one thing that gets us in a lot of trouble with our feasting, right? Because food is not supposed to be used to satisfy boredom. Activities are, and the food activity isn't going to get you the result that you're hoping for. So if you're eating and you're not feeling the need for food, and you're eating just because you don't have anything to do, I say pick up something to do. Like, again, take a walk, go grab a bottle of water, pick up something around the house, do something at work. There's a bunch of things you have to do. So you have to find the trigger in your life that's causing you to feel bored, and using food as a solution. And once you identify that trigger and you put something else in its place, this is what we do inside the midlife mindset shift course. We talk about habit triggers and creating a system of events that happen so you end up getting the result that you want. And so identify the trigger and then just put something else in its place. Okay, cool. Carolyn, I think it is. Yes. McGrath of 2018, fallen off the wagon. Can you explain not eating versus eating mindset? I feel like I'm white knuckling it all through the day. I'm not eating. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, let me tell you this, that there's no such thing as a wagon. And I know that's a phrase that's always used, but I really try to get you to catch yourself saying that, right? So you weren't on a wagon to ever begin with. So there's nothing that you can fall off of. So you're just making a different series of choices, which is fine. We've made different choices. Just go back to what you did in 2018 that made you feel so successful. Oftentimes it's just because you registered for something, you put a little bit of money down, and you're in with a group. So if you're an accountability person, find a way to get back into that. We have a class, our 2021 class, which is also running in 2022, runs the first Saturday of every month. If you have access to the 2021, 2022 class, put it on your calendar that a new class is starting the first Saturday of every month. Jump into the comment section. You will feel that accountability and excitement, just like all the students who are coming in for the first time. So that would be a good thing to start with there. Not eating versus fasting. Okay, so when you're fasting, remember that's a chemical and hormonal makeup going on in your body because you've gone a long enough period of time without a new insulin response. It takes about 12 hours to get in a true fasted state when our insulin is at its lowest point every hour. After that, you're just benefiting from being in a fasted state. So not from when you start your fast at the 12-hour mark, you're just not eating. And then when you get to the 12-hour mark, that's really when you can say your like body's in fasting, because you've had a long enough time with no insulin. So what the fasting, not the not eating part, oftentimes we think like, well, I'm not eating because I only had coffee and creamer in my coffee, or I only had one bite of this, or I walked through the kitchen, I grabbed one little, cashew. So I'm not really eating, right? But what you're not doing is you're not putting yourself in a fasted state. So sitting down to eat doesn't necessarily mean you have to have, a proper place setting and a table and a 3-course dinner. Eating is anytime you create an insulin response in your body, because your body is thinking that the digestive cycle has to start to process what you're going to put in your body. So that's the difference between not eating and fasting. Fasting is a chemical and hormonal state your body is in, and that's where you reap the benefits. So hopefully that made sense for you there. Deborah, Holly Johnson hugs. Yeah, see, Holly, come here. We will hug you. We will hug you. We will hug you, and we will help you feel seen and heard for sure. So jump in anytime you need us. Julie, is bone broth okay during fasting? Okay, so yes and no. These are always the yes and no questions, because it depends on why you're fasting. If you're fasting for cellular healing and repair, bone broth knocks you out of a state of autophagy. So no. If you're fasting for weight loss, or you're fasting for maybe fat utilization, or you're fasting for a break from food, or you're fasting to make your exercise more beneficial, then bone broth will probably not be a problem. What I do recommend is a test. So if you're happy with the results that you're getting without bone broth, add bone broth in for a week or two, evaluate your results, and then decide, is bone broth working for you or is it not working for you? It's hard to have a third party person tell another person something is working or isn't going to work for you, or is going to knock you out of a fast or not knock you out of a fast. You have to really decide that for yourself, because the result of that decision is going to create thoughts in your brain, and that brain is going to take you down a path that's either going to be beneficial to you or not beneficial to you. So test it out and then come back and let us know how your bone broth worked for you. Christy, started a 36-hour fast last night to kickstart, been off and on, size 8 to 10 in my last year, misery at 52. Can I add collagen with stevia to coffee during the fast? Okay, again, it's that thing. So I don't know why you're doing a 36-hour fast. Maybe you're trying to break a food need cycle. I don't know. But stevia, for a lot of women who are hormonally out of balance, 100% will cause you problems. It will, for a lot of people, it causes you to crave sweets. It does create an insulin response because your body is not balanced out yet. And so it's like hyper, like reacting to every little thing that you do. So if you're really living in misery at 52, I would do nothing to take a chance that you're going to break your fast until you get to the place where you feel really confident with your fasting, really confident with your feasting, and you don't describe being 52 as misery. When you're not describing 52 as misery, then you're winning the game, and then you can do some experimenting for sure. But I personally would not risk it if I have a big goal of changing how I'm feeling about myself. CM, what is a tool used for staying in a fast when you have to cook for the family? Well, if you're cooking for your family, then it's cooking for your family. If you're cooking for you and your family, then you enjoy the food, right? If you're cooking for your family and you're feeling resentment about that, or you're feeling like it's not fair that you have to cook for them and you don't get to eat, that's mindset. You have to change your mindset in the way you're talking about that. Cooking for your family should be a pleasurable experience. You should be excited that you're making food for them and they get the opportunity to eat, and you shouldn't feel like you're missing out. Again, if you do, then you're not cooking for your family for the right reasons. And so you have to do that mindset work for sure. And then just know that you're fasting for you, and they shouldn't have to fast if they're not into it at all. Holly, you're super welcome, girlfriend. We love having you here. Yeah, see, there you go. Prayers and hugs for Holly. Love it. I love you guys. You're so nice to everybody. Colleen, February 2022 grad, watching in a laundromat in Seattle, learning to pick my special times with my grands and not eat crazy the whole 2 weeks. Yeah, again, that's that thing, right? Like feed, cooking for your family or having your grandkids around. I had a woman one time saying she had a really hard time because, she had, her grandkids had juice boxes and goldfish. Well, that's juice boxes and goldfish are grandkid treats, right? But they don't serve us very well. So make it about the time and not about the food, right? The other thing I always recommend, and I know sometimes it's hard with grandkids, but sometimes leveling up what it is we do with our grandkids and our kids helps them and helps us, right? So maybe changing some of the things that you do with your grandkids so that you don't feel like you have to exit your life to be able to enjoy time and love on them, right? And then just enjoy the time and the activities that you're partaking in with your grandkids. Don't make it about the food for you, make it about the food for them if that's the way it is. Okay, so we're at our 30-minute mark. Love the comment section. Love all of you who spoke up. I want you to know you're not alone. But I also want you to know that you don't have to live miserably. You don't have to live negatively. You can love your body and you can make some really positive changes. But it does start with your thought process. It does start with the language and the dialogue you use to describe yourself and how you live in that space with yourself that no one else can hear but you. Change it into a positive mindset. Use positive words. Use empowering words, right? And action items that are going to lead you to the place that you want to go. And I promise you, you will get there. I hate when people leave nasty comments and I don't read them before I display them. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. I will see you guys back here on Thursday. If you need something specific for me to bring up and talk about, just email me or leave me a private message wherever it is you are hanging out with me. And I promise I will bring it up as part of the conversation for sure. You guys have this. It's all here. Trust me. There's no magic sauce. There's no magic pill. There's no magic anything. It's all about you believing that you can be happy in your body, you believing that you know what to do, and then just executing that belief system. And then we're here to help you. And if you want to jump into class with us, we do have our class starting on June the 4th. Something magical happens when you commit to something that's going to yield you a positive change. You will get the results you're hoping for, and then you will have that as your own personal experience that anytime you decide you want to make those changes, you have the power to do it because you have the proof and you're going to have the resources. Anyone who joins us on the 2022 year for our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course gets access to your course materials for life. That means every first Saturday of every single month, you can jump into class anytime it's convenient for you. And we'll be here to help you and serve you along the way. Okay, I will see you guys on Thursday at noon Central Standard Time. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Instagram at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a beautiful Monday. Have a great week and keep those words that you are using to describe yourself and talk to yourself with positive. I promise you it'll pay off.